Top, yeah. Yep.
Welcome to Orta Know Better.
You did that on
purpose. It's me, your host Jay tonight, who's literally just run through the door and straight into this chair. So it's probably my fault we're late again, but people are used to that, so it's okay. Joined by pod regulars Gilly, Smarty, and Karl. Let's have a little intro, Gilly.
Oh shit! That's why you asked me if I were ready, mate. Thought we could have a look at the way.
Yeah, pretty much.
Do you know what? If I just carry on doing this.
Hi, this is Don Matteo, and then you are listening to the Orta Know Better Podcast. Let's do this.
Well, we open tonight with Right Up 'em from Smarty. So, how you doing, lads?
Rant. The ex fucking shit in it.
Pretty much. How do you think I feel? This is fourth show I've done in a row.
How do you think the fucking viewers feel?
I'm right there with them, Karl. I'm right there with them. Nobody has to watch. I've fucking hell, Matt. Is that pint big enough?
2 pints.
It's not a pint, it's a stein.
I'm just having one.
Uncultured swine.
It's been.
I'm not on my own. Show him, Karl.
Oh yeah, no, he's definitely not on his own.
Oh, Jesus Christ! I've got a drink, but it ain't one of them. Yeah, it's been hard work having to talk about Leeds United for the last week or two. A couple of you have been on and joined me at various times. How's everybody feeling after today's news? And are we feeling any more optimistic, or do we still think we're fucked?
It's two different things. That I'm feeling slightly more optimistic. The fact that we brought somebody in that's actually a first team coach.
Who's actually managed in the Premier League.
Yeah, and has actually done the job before. So that's a thing. But I still think we're down. So, I've seen something earlier about if he doesn't keep them up, then it's on him. No, it's not. It's on Marsh and the board and the fact that they didn't react quickly enough. So I don't think anything will be on Scooby-Doo. I don't think anything will be on anyone in the coaching staff, actually, top to bottom. Yeah. Anybody there, I think they've all done as good a job as could be expected in the circumstances. But so, yeah, I feel a bit more positive in that we've got somebody in. It's not who I would have chosen, I'll be honest. I think the names that we were kicking around, but that's on the board as well. Yeah. But I think it's somebody that you see some of the feedback from the Watford fans, and I've seen lots of tweets about, do you know what? All of a sudden I want Leeds to do well, and you're thinking, well, here's a thing. Mixed emotions in that I still think that we're screwed. But he is somebody that can actually coach, and I'm interested to see what he does.
Fair enough. Karl, how are you feeling, mate?
I think Enton's a step up after what's just happened over the last 12 months. So I think I'm quietly optimistic he can get them playing actual football. I'm not as optimistic that we're going to 100% stay up, but obviously you have to give him a chance. He's come in. It's a tough scenario he's come into. Yes. He came in kind of similar when he went into Watford and kept them up. So maybe, I don't know. I think we can only all we can do is back him and back what he has to put on the pitch. But like Gilly was saying there, by all accounts, there's a lot of Watford fans saying that he was the best manager they've had at Vicarage Road for 20 odd years. You know what I mean? So if you got them saying that and saying that he was harshly done by at the start of the season, he got sacked. What was it, like 4 games in or something?
Something stupid, yeah.
Yeah.
And they went through a merry-go-round of doing that every year, didn't they? They did it like twice a year.
Yeah, it's that Pozo family. They're as trigger happy as Massimo. So it's we have to give him a chance. I think it's a proper coach with proper experience, and not just in England. He's got it in Spain as well, and I think he's done all right at Malaga, where he hadn't a pot to piss in. So hopefully.
All right. Well, we won't go too deep yet, because we're going to probably discuss this for a while later on. So,
right. So
Smarty, how about you? How are you feeling, mate? You look happy.
It's just a big fucking shit sandwich, innit?
Yeah.
That I've been force-fed. That was an absolute utter shambles at weekend, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. It was just. In fact, I actually did fall asleep for 15 minutes of the first half.
You can segue us nicely into the game.
I genuinely did. Yeah, it was fucking dog shit. I'm just watching now, like, fuck me, this is shit. It's like, I don't know what the tactics were beforehand, but lumping it up to Bamford, who doesn't really score that many. Well, he hasn't scored any really this year, but he certainly doesn't seem to score any with his head. And when you've got two big galoots called Chuffin Tarkowski and frigging Connor Cody, are just two big units at back that are, pretty much ply the trade, heading fucking stuff.
It's pretty much all they can do.
What on earth were going on there? I'll tell you what, we'll stick it out at wings. We'll give it to that lazy bastard Somerville who don't track back and do fuck all, really. Or we'll do it with... someone's stolen Jack Harrison's feet and turned them into bricks. He swapped the pillows for bricks. And then we'll give it to... we'll try and give it to them lads, and we'll try and cross it in over these two big galoots fucking heads and see if Patrick can nod one in. It just wasn't happening, and it was shit, and I fell asleep.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, mate. I mean, we're going to take us...
Ruined my weekend.
Next, but you've kind of took us... You've took us there, mate. You've took us into the game.
I'm gonna lose my job.
I mean, I can't argue with what you said there. To be fair, it was shite. We said as much on B&C. It was shocking, and it was hard to
harvesting. The OKB farmer, she's harvesting the likes and subscribes. Look at her. She's earned some she's earning us some coin here.
Go on, I fucking wish.
Put on bloody wage bill, like.
But yeah, I mean, it were hard to watch, like you said, Smarty. It were one of them games where nothing worked. Couldn't even pass to each other. Booting the ball at the field didn't work. Willie were marking fucking Cody on corners.
Oh yeah, mad.
When he wasn't taking them. That was bizarre. It were a foot taller than him. I mean, what were we supposed to do? I don't understand the tactics there, and I think, although I don't hold Scooby responsible for what's gone on, I think he should probably have tried to put a little bit of his own stamp on it.
Put in a bloody good performance, though.
Christ. He did, yeah, he did.
My man at match.
What a guy. Turning it around. Go on, lad.
When that goal went in, though, my heart just sank, because I feel like at the point we're at, that could be the turning point where it all fucking fell apart and we went down. Do you know what I mean? But time's going to tell. I mean, what do you reckon, Matt? How did you see the game?
I think when I had a conversation, when I were asking for the predictions, I asked Joe for a prediction from the Just Joe Show. Oh, podcast friends.
Joe friend, oh.
And we had a bit of a to and a fro, and basically I said it doesn't feel like a must win still. It feels like a must not lose. Because they'd have been below us in the table still. And it had been a bit of a thing. Going away, it's not quite the same as the home. We need to be winning some of our home fixtures. So it felt more like a must not lose and a must win. But the second that goal went in, you thought, well, that's that done. We're not coming back.
You did. Yeah.
And you reflect on previous years and the level of fitness that we had and our capability to kill off games at the latter stages when the other team were tiring, and you reflect on what we've got now and you think, well, it's night and day. We're getting to 70 minutes and we're the ones that are tailing off. Yeah. But as soon as that goal went in, we were done. We were not going to get anything from that game. There wasn't even a possibility of a draw. As soon as we went down, that was it. The other thing that I said before the game was, the first goal in this game is absolutely critical because Everton's fans would have turned on them if they went down.
Yeah, 100%.
But we just did not look like we cared. You look at the scum games, and I know that there's conversations around, well, anybody can get a lead side up for a scum game, but a lot of these players don't really know what the scum game means to the fans.
No, that's true.
They do now because they've seen it themselves. But they wouldn't have known, a lot of them, going into it. You know, they'd have been told, and there were stories. I mean, it would under Bielsa, but there were stories about Leeds give a bit of a breakdown to their players coming in about the history, about the things that the fans have gone through with various other elements. So they'd have been told, but they hadn't lived it. And a lot of them just didn't know. So to say that anybody could get them up for it, yeah, okay. There is always that extra edge when it's the scum. But we were playing in the Premier League, and we were playing against a side that are a Premier League side, and they've been in the league for a long time. And it's just that thing of if you can't get up for that anyway. So for me, it was the manner and the way that we went about the game, for me, that was most disappointing. If you give it everything, you come off that, you've run your blood to water, and it's been blood and thunder from start to finish, and you've been beaten by the odd goal, you come off it thinking, do you know what, we gave it a good go. It didn't even feel like we gave it a good go. And I feel like, you know, I've said a few times that with a double pivot, I wanted to see what Firpo could offer us at fullback, with a bit less emphasis on having to defend and seeing what he could do going forward. I think we are starting to see some of that. But given some of the performances he's put in, and I'm certain that we're going to get some responses of, are you mad? He's the worst player that's ever put a football shirt on. I do feel like it tells a story, the fact that he was, for me, by far our most effective player on the day. And it is a bit mad when you think of what he's gone through and what he's offered us in previous. You know, there are the steady performers that you always know that you're going to get something out of. But for me, I think he was our best player on the day, and I think that in itself tells a story.
Yeah, I think you're probably right there. Karl, I've seen loads of people are like upset about Ruta, and they think, oh, another shit appearance from him. Do you think that's harsh? Do you think it were a big ask for anyone to come on and do anything in that game?
Well, considering how the team played overall before he came on, like, surely his confidence can't be massively high at the moment. Like, he hasn't played a lot of football, and he got a lot of, well, I think Scoobs got a lot of criticism for putting him in the under-21s last night, you know, but game time is what he needs. Like, and then you've got people arguing that he needs game time in the first team to up his standard, and you can see it from both sides, but at the same time, he's come in at a very difficult time. And to kind of lay the blame at his feet over the last couple of games, I think is a little bit, I don't know, I think it's a little bit harsh, really. Like, we as fans are kind of very critical very quickly, so I think we just need to kind of give this lad a chance and let him settle in, you know, let him get his feet under the table and have a consistent manager for the last... I don't know who that is.
We know, Bandy. We've all been here when you've said it, mate.
It was Bandy I was referring to. No, it wasn't actually. I think Bandy's the one that's always said is an inside left, I think was the terminology he used. And do you know, he's not an out-and-out fullback. And we're seeing that. And when you're playing McKennie and Adams or Rocker and Adams as we had before, and you're playing that two in midfield there that are going to sit and are going to provide that, then you really need Firpo. They can get forward.
Yeah. Absolutely. I still miss Alioski, to be honest.
Well, the reason we miss Alioski is because he left at the end of a good season. If he would,
I know, but he did contribute the odd goal. He wasn't the best player at left back, but I don't think you were any worse than anyone who's
that season when he were picking the ball up at box. I miss Patrick Bamford from that season. I miss all of the fucking players from that season, to be quite honest. I wish they'd turn up this season. It'd be great if they did. Like,
yeah, difference is most of them are still here. Smarty, Alioski's gone. He's got an excuse. The rest of them aren't. What they're fucking playing at?
Yeah,
I mean, that game, man, it was depressing. It was just.
I didn't see anything encouraging in that at all. Like, I really do hope that Xavi comes in and gets it going, like, because there was nothing about that performance that made me think we could stay up. The only thing that's
about
given
that performance were bloody... Sorry, mate, go on.
No, the only thing that's giving me hope now is that we've got a competent manager in. No shit to Scoobs or anything, but that's more aimed at Marsh, really. Like, and And I think the players are good enough. Their heads are up their holes at the moment, and it's really showing on the football pitch rather than, fighting for the badge. Like they're wandering around, like Gilly was saying there. It's Somerville doing fuck all. Like he's not tracking
He's
back.
a right lazy little bastard.
Yeah,
He's a lazy little fucking bastard, and he'd be hired off. Hopefully, this frigging new lad who we'll be talking about, soon, will fire a rocket up these fucking lazy shithouses' ass.
Yeah.
So look, if you aren't fucking gonna fight for this club, piss off, basically.
Yeah.
I'd rather someone who would fight in tooth and nail than have some lazy little fucker that stood around up front, walking around like he's King Dick, and just offering very little when we haven't got the ball. Don't want to sound like Paul Eckenbottom here at all.
I think there's one player in this generation that can get away with that, and that's Messi, and that's because he's Messi. He walks throughout the entire game, and then he runs and he scores a goal. And then he does that another 3 or 4 more times, and either it's an assist or a goal every time he runs. If you can have that sort of output when you put the effort in, fine. I'm okay with that because you can afford a passenger that's going to score 2-3 goals every game and assist another 2 or 3 goals. We don't have that, and therefore they've all got to work. And that's what's most disappointing. And actually, it was endemic at the weekend, wasn't it? Because you could see that a lot of players fell into that sort of mould. And I've got a fair amount of stick for this one. Somebody was saying to me, somebody was saying on Twitter, and then I got into not a spat. You know how I work. You see that I get arguments a lot. And it was Bamford's got to go. It's like, yeah, that's fine. Who for? Well, there's loads of strikers out there. Right, okay, name some. Tell me somebody that you're going to get that can have the impact on the game that he has, occupies the defence in the way that he can, all right, albeit hasn't recently when we've not had coaching capability, but we've seen that he can, and is a proper goal threat that's going to get you 15 to 20 every season, and show me them for less than £60 million. Because I don't think they exist. Oh yeah, there's 200 or 300 of them. Look at what was it? Look at Brighton and that player that they've got on the wing from the Far East. Yeah, he's a winger. Yeah, he's doing pretty well, but he's not going to get you 15, 20 goals a season. We've got wingers. We don't need more wingers. I like our wingers, but
we've got shitloads of them.
We need somebody that is going to reliably put the ball in the back of the goal. That's what we need.
Yeah, and it ain't Bamford anymore, unfortunately.
It appears not, and he's been put into with Rodrigo getting injured. He's been put into a situation. We still now don't know if he's 100%. No, we said before it's unlikely we'll ever see him at 100% again. If he's playing at 80 to 85% and trying to do so in the Premier League, it's no wonder he's not doing so well. But equally, we saw in the Championship, we saw even in the promotion season, I think he got 16 in the Championship in our promotion season and then 17 in the Premier League when we finished 9th.
Yeah.
He still had a couple of barren spells during that period where he went 4 or 5 games without getting any at all. And then he gets on a run. No, we don't. We absolutely don't.
Bamford likes ball into feet, not ball 3 yards in front or 3 yards behind.
He wants it down the channel.
And all that sort of stuff. You remember the classic Bielsa move where we would do a couple of triangles and it'd go out to a winger. Then someone may either overlap around the side and then we'd cut back to the edge.
Overloads on the wing.
Overlaps.
I miss those.
No, overloads on the wing.
Overlaps.
Yeah, that's what we did.
We had lots of width. Job's a good one. Round we go. Cut back to edge at box or edge at 6 yard boards. Bosh. Cheers. Thanks for fucking coming. Off you fuck. And that was it. Yeah. But now we don't see that because we're either trying to have about 5 people that are fitting under one tiny little fucking postage stamp under bloody Marsh, or I don't even know what Scoobs brings to it, to be quite honest, because it was just an absolute shower of shite, wasn't it? The whole
Everton what?
I mean, Everton were a shower of shite. The scum games I was mildly impressed with, to be fair. There's an argument. There's people arguing that, it were Marsh's tactics. So bloody blah. They weren't Marsh's tactics. The scum games. They were chalk and cheese. The difference between Marsh's tactics and the way they were played under Scoobs at Scum against Scum. Absolutely, completely dissimilar.
I can confidently say it didn't look anything like it looked at Forest.
But then it just went to absolute rat shit against Everton. So, but hopefully, like I say, I don't even know what Melia were doing for that goal. Fucking hell. He had no one to cross to.
He must have had nightmares
So
about that since.
who was Melia looking at when whatever his name was? Oh, what was his name?
Coleman.
Oh, God. Coleman. Who was Coleman?
Seamus.
Coleman could clearly see there was no one there. Who is Melia looking at other than the fucking person with the ball on the right wing? Oh, I know.
He obviously
I'm
just
stand
did not
10
expect
yards
him to
off me
try
line.
that.
Oh,
You don't. But
No, you
rule
wouldn't
number
do.
one:
But who the fuck
don't
is
get
he
beaten
looking
at your
at?
front post. That's
Right,
rule
yeah.
number
That's
one
what
for
I'm
a
saying.
keeper. Don't get beaten at your front
There were no
post.
one there.
Even if there's somebody in the middle that you're worried about, don't get beaten at your front post. If they get a good cross in and they make a good connection and you can't get
It wasn't
to
even
it,
at front post,
fine.
though, Gilly.
Just
Hit the
don't.
back other side at fucking net.
Yeah, but only because it was so thick. If it was stood
Yeah,
on
but
front
what
post,
I'm
it doesn't
saying
go in,
is
does it?
The fucking goal were open. He was 10 yards off his fucking line in fucking.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, he needs to be touching his
Woman.
front post. He needs to be
Yeah, yeah.
stood on his
Yeah.
front post because the ball's at the full back area.
He was touching summit.
Yeah, you want his front post.
Fucking, he won his line where he should have been, dickhead. But anyway,
No, he's got to learn from that. He can't be doing that again. I mean,
won't
he
do it
gets a
again.
little bit. He gets a little
When
bit
you
of a
learn from
pass
that,
because he's won us games at times. It's the first time I'd say he's cost us a game. But it can't happen again.
Yeah, I mean, even the scum draw, he should have done better with that Sancho one.
But you can
oh yeah, there were
you
a couple
can't
of
say
absolute
any other
pop-it-on
time.
wrist fucking attempts at that. That one.
For me,
Christ.
You can't say any
hell.
other time that he has solely been
That's
responsible.
twice.
for costing
That's
the
another
game.
one. Star it quick.
Yeah, but hang on a minute.
now
That's
listen.
5 points in 3 games, Jay.
now listen.
And that's just
I
out
know,
of the
I
last
know.
3 games.
I know.
I take your point. There's been a few times this season when I've thought, fucking hell, he looks a bit flappy there. He could have caught that.
Yeah, me too.
I
Yeah.
think the entire side has been playing without confidence. And what's a keeper going to do if he's without confidence? He's not going to look commanding. He's not going to come and collect the ball when he should. He's going to punch instead of catching because he's not confident he's going to get it right. That comes down to Marsh. Hopefully, guy coming in gives them some confidence because you look at that side that we've got and the capability that's within it or that we think is within it. And I know that there's bias because we're all Leeds fans.
Oh, yeah.
But there isn't a side. You know, you look at Leicester, you look at West Ham. I think we're better than both of them on paper, and nobody else gets close to us from bottom half of the table on paper. So
West
you've
Ham.
got a capable coach, and you see. No, like what I'm saying is, I mean, West Ham, the bought Skamaka. He's not really had the impact. I wanted, I'll be transparent. I wanted Skamaka before the start of the season. I called him. I said we really wanted him. They've tried Skamaka. They've tried Valencia. They're not playing either of them at the moment. They're not doing so well. Bowen seems to be carrying them quite a bit, but they're down there. But I think you look at the squad at West Ham, you look at the squad at Leicester, and there's capability in it. But you look at the other side around us, and there's not much there. With a quality coach, I mean, I firmly believe that we'd be mid-table if we'd have brought in a different coach at the World Cup break.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Without a doubt.
The capabilities in the squad.
I don't think there's anyone that would
We'd have
disagree
probably
with
got a
you.
better manager. I'm not trying to diss Mr. Javi Gracia or whatever it's called at this moment in time, but the pedigree.
We'd have had more of our pick of who was there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the pool would have been much bigger and better to
Yeah.
pick from. Now it's like like when you're a young lad and you've had a few shandies and it's end at night. Here we go.
Is it
There's a
10
load
to
of
2
lads-
at this point?
Look at that
Smart?
smile on his face. He's
10 to
reminiscing.
2, all slow music starting. The lights
Smarty
down.
worked at the frontier, I'll just
I
add.
worked at the frontier and back so I used to see it like the fucking
Fucking hell.
Serengeti. It was like the
I only ever
Serengeti
visited
of
there
pissheads.
once.
You got all lads out outside, and there's all lads and lasses. We're all equal.
Yeah.
Egalitarian
And it was
about
just
it.
the dregs of society in the dance floor, looking for a potential hookup at the end of the evening. We're basically Leeds United, and all the managers round the edge of the dance floor are just like, "Ooh."
Can't go there.
Fucking Benitez is going to Gerrard. Fucking hell, mate. I don't fancy yours much. Here pops up Javi fucking Garcia, whatever his name.
Just
Garcia.
looking round to see if your mates are watching.
Areola's over there going, fucking, look at that one.
Fucking hell, man.
Winston's. I've never been to
Yeah,
Winston's.
he's off to see Rubber Julie with her ear.
Oh, fucking hell.
Rubber Julie with a fucking rubber fist, because that's how I've felt every fucking time I watch pissing Leeds United at this moment in time.
God damn.
Come on, Smarty Loaf, bend over. Assume
found
the
the-
position.
We found
That's
the
what it's
title
like.
for
And
this
smile while we do it.
pod anyway.
The one thing I'd say here, Bandy,
Fucking hell.
Bandy says, it would seem you all feel the man is a fish-eyed fool. as an individual, I still like the bloke. I know there's been a lot of hate for him. I think he's a nice guy. He's a nice bloke. He's just not capable of doing the job he was given. The one thing I would say is he's walked away from a job he was failing at in the past. He should have walked away from this one, but he shouldn't have actually had the opportunity to walk away from it. He should have been relieved of his duties well earlier than he did. But the one thing that I would say is Smarty called it right at the start. He slightly got it wrong. You were what, about 6 weeks out?
I tell you what,
He said Christmas.
I think
He said
Smarty
Christmas.
said the same
He
thing.
meant Russian Orthodox Christmas.
But he did.
And the
He said
Chinese
Christmas. So you're about 6 weeks out. But you called it from start.
He
doesn't have some shoulder shite, wouldn't he?
Comment
I reckon
from
Jay
Robert
could have
here.
done a better job than fucking Marsh.
I reckon I could, Robert says Leeds is a girl that doesn't get picked up at closing time. I reckon Leeds is more like the girl that you see sat on her ass in middle of the street with a dress up under a fucking
With a kebab.
Let's just move on.
With a kebab at a feast.
I know Smarty's taking us down a ginnel. But
Some audible.
let's not go all cast
Leeds is
about
the
it.
fat kid
All
that's
right,
picked
then.
last at any sort of sports team. That's who we are now. Gravy covered.
And now we're
No,
being fast
no, wrong.
as well.
No,
Let's
no,
just
no.
move on. Next subject.
No,
Right.
he's
See how they
wrong with
kids.
kids.
Go on. Carry on anyway. Come
All
on,
right,
Jay. Get a
go
grip
on
here.
then. Hey, just calm down, mate. Just calm down. We might as well go on to predictions after all that then.
Orta Know Better Predictions.
And I'm right there and ready because I'm such a professional.
That's
This
right.
time.
Turned up this
Take
week
it.
when I'm not hosting. Shit out.
That's it. Take it away, Gilly. Do your thing.
The fans, I've not written down a full name. I've written down Karl, but it's spelled with a K. I don't know if I've just written down Karl twice and I've missed the name of the fans' prediction. But they went 3-0 lead, so they got nothing. Jay went 2-0 leads, nothing. Smarty 1-all draw. Stats 1-all draw. Joe 1-all draw. Jason 1-all draw, nothing. Bren 2-1 leads. Me 3-1 leads. Karl 2-1 leads. Luke 3-2 leads. Cy Johnson of Leeds United fame 2-2 draw. And Big Lou went 2-1 Everton and therefore gets himself some points. That takes
No,
him,
little shit.
the bottom of the league, that takes him from 6 points adrift to 3 points adrift.
For fuck's sake. He called
There
me
isn't
an
a single change in the league table this week.
He called me an accent dick today because I said.
Did I get a point?
I said
You
something
did not
about
get a point.
TalkSport.
Why?
There was a guy.
Because we
Shut
got
up,
beat.
I'm doing a bit here. There was a guy rang up on TalkSport and it was one of these Leeds fans. And have you noticed whenever they get one of these people on,
Steady. Because
they
Leeds
all
fans
know.
come from everywhere,
Hey,
from all
hey.
walks of life.
but
Not just
when
South
TalkSport
Yorkshire.
get 'em, it's a bloke asking for Big Sam and he's got a Cockney accent every fucking time. And
But
I'm
I
not
also
having
don't
it.
like us talking about the Sun in radio form. I don't know why anybody listens to it.
Cue the
Do you read the
comments.
Sun? Do you take a note
Comments.
of what the Sun says in the papers?
I'm a Cockney Leeds
Right?
fan.
No? Then turn talk shite off then.
There's not much else to put on during the day sometimes. But it is shite.
Put
White
5
noise.
live on.
Listen to white noise. That's better.
Yeah, maybe I'll try that, yeah. But it just
Drag
strikes
some
me as...
nails or some sort of metal implement over a chalkboard. Poke out your eyeballs.
Oh, Jesus.
Smash your own eardrums with a ball-peen hammer would be better
wish I
than
was.
listening to the absolute tripe.
Anyway, it just feels like they're just getting like fake calls on to wind us up, to get
course they
people.
are.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. It gets them some traction.
It's a
And then
100%
stupid
should
not
not be
mention it
allowed.
on podcasts.
It shouldn't be allowed.
Right.
That's the
Fuck
ultimate
that shit.
clickbait, that shit.
Fuck that shit.
The league
Bandy
table.
Bandy wants to hear more from Scottish
He
Audrey.
does.
Well, let's finish off the league table with the predictions first, and then we can move on to Audrey. Unfortunately, this leaves Jay top by 4 points.
As it should be.
Jason is in second with 10 points. Luke 8, Fan 7, Karl 5, me 4, Joe 2, Stats 1. You're not here yet, Smarty. Bren none. You're not here yet, Smarty. Oh, hang on. -2 for Smarty, -5 for Cy Johnson, -7 for LUTV Scotty, and -10, having got himself 3 points this week, for Big Lou of LS11.
Wow.
Go on, Big Lou.
That is a thing, isn't it?
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. It's all going to shit in the predictions league.
No,
All right, well,
because our team are a shower of shit, mate.
well, it is right, and
We predict
you
them
can
to win
see-
and they lose. We predict them to lose and they draw or put it half a performance.
It's unreal. I'm going back to just saying 4-1 every week and hoping for the best against us.
I think
You actually had
talking
more
to
luck
himself.
doing that.
I did, yeah, I did.
Was that not Robles?
I don't think he is out of form. He just makes silly fucking mistakes. Because
I wanted to make a point
on his
on
day,
that.
Melia is absolutely class.
Big
Go on, then,
Kiko.
Audrey, Scottish Audrey.
Yeah.
The people want you.
What if the reason Mez is not performing as well as he did is because he's having to make more saves because there isn't a consistent defence in front of him. When we went up, he had a defence that played for nearly the last 7 to 10 games in front of him. Then when we came up and we were playing away, he had a lot of the same players in there, and that makes the job easier because there's consistency.
Trying not to wake up his dog.
I've kicked him out. He's gone after last week's fucking snoring episode. I think it's down to the defence in front of him. He hasn't had a consistent defence in front of him, and he's having to work twice as hard. So he's essentially looking worse than he actually is because it's all gone tits up for him in front of him.
Well,
That's
I
my
understand
opinion.
that the communication or the lanes of communication may differ slightly depending on who you've got in front of you, but you don't forget how to kick a fucking ball, do you?
No,
Or play
like that.
football.
Like
Jesus,
obviously,
why-
there's a confidence issue as well.
There's
But
guy
I
out
think
there
a
in
lot of
football.
us.
I'm going to go and stand 10 yards off my line just for the shits and giggles because I'm not going to fucking the same defence side in front of me as last week. I'm going for a little walk. Come on,
You
pal.
weren't there last week. I'm not going to say fuck all.
Nope, I'm going to completely forget how to play football and I'm going for a little walk.
I am on list strike.
That's just my opinion on it. I think
I know what you're saying,
if he
mate,
does
but
get
I
a
think-
consistent defence in front of him, it's the same as any keeper. They need that consistency in front of them as much as anything else.
To be fair, I mean, all keepers have to suffer at certain points when your centre back gets injured.
Yeah.
If his game falls apart because somebody's got injured and gone off, he needs to really address that. That's a major failure.
I don't think it's about just Ferber going off and getting injured. I think it's about having the same back four, because we haven't had the same back four for any consistent run of games, and that's that's an important part of the pitch to make sure that you're consistent in.
Well, we have really. I mean, Koch, Verber and Aylin have been there pretty much. I mean, with Strike and
Aylin only came in after World Cup.
Yeah.
Before that, it was Christensen.
Fucking how many games have we had since then?
Yeah, but it was Striker at left back and it was
what you're
Christensen
saying,
at right back,
They
and
train with each
and
other every day.
it were Cooper in middle and Koch. So there has been chopping and changing, but at the same time, if you can't do that with a squad, what's the point of having a squad? You need to be able to change it.
Yeah, no, I understand that. But I just, I think it to get to
I know what you're saying, mate. I agree, and we're only trying to offer an alternative.
Oh no, of course, yeah, and
It's
to
just,
have
they should be able
that
to
back
play
four coached by an actual football coach would be a massive help as well.
Absolutely agree with that.
Yeah, me too.
100%.
Yeah.
I think Aylin does a.
That's
if you look at Strike at left back, he does a manful job, but he's not a left back. I think Aylin, you could say the same. He does his best at centre back, and he does all right. But you lose a lot of what his game is by putting him at centre back, because what he's good at is getting the ball, going forward, winning free kicks, overlaps, overloads, whatever you want to call it. And that dynamism that he does offer on the flanks, he's just obviously it's lost at centre back. And he carried the ball out a couple of times, but whenever he does that, you're thinking, oh fuck, he's carried the ball out. Stop, just pass it and go back into position, please. You're at centre back now.
Massive hole in behind him, then
There's a few
fucking scary to watch.
positional changes that or positional errors that we need to completely stop, and that's Harrison in a number 10 and Greenwood in centre midfield. That needs to completely stop now.
Yeah, absolutely. Harrison needs to learn how to kick a ball again before he worries about what else to be fair.
I can't believe it took him so long to get him off.
I know, and I still can't believe that he's still on set pieces, because what is the point? And that definitely comes down to the coaching, because for me he's still on set pieces because he's been on set pieces, but we've watched him fail at set pieces for 3 years.
Yeah,
and it's not me having a go at him as an individual. If he's being asked to do a job and he's doing his best at that job, fine. And you know what? The one that was a shallow free kick where he were trying to get some whip on it and trying to get some bend on it, but it were kind of almost central. And then it just went over Paddy's head. I think Paddy should be getting that. I really think that should
Paddy
be.
should have got the fucking cross that went past him and he tried to.
Well,
yeah,
and that as well. So
rightful to that.
Fuck me.
Yeah,
that just
really
needed directing with any part of your fucking body. It had enough pace on it that you didn't have to get a clean strike. It just needed directing goals.
Absolutely.
And he's a Premier League striker. He should be able to do that in that position. It were on a plate.
Yeah, it was. And it's not the first air shot we've seen in the last few games. The one against the Scum where he missed the ball completely. When it Scum, was it the game before? The ball fell to Ayling and then it was a good save in the end, but it was on his left. It might have been Forrest. Complete air shot, ran through to Ayling, and Ayling had to come inside the defender and then get the shot away with his left, which is not his strongest, and keeper would have fairly comfortable save. But that should have been a goal, and it should have never got to Ayling at all.
But yeah, Ayling used his left because it was the only thing that were an option at the time.
Yeah. He gave it a go. His weaker foot. He gave it a go.
And that's a defender.
And the only thing, there were enough pace on that cross. All he had to do was make a connection. He didn't have to do any magic with his right. He just had to make
his left testicle. It would have gone in. You know what I mean? It didn't need anything significant.
Anything.
VAR would have interjected. And
what was that? We didn't put that one in, Brand, did we? With
were offside.
With Luke's head on that table tennis fella hitting the ball with his cock.
Some things we probably should leave alone.
I'm still impressed by that. That's some skill, that.
I wonder how many takes it took.
Here's a thing. Was Cooper on bench at weekend? No point in being there if he wasn't fit, and that's why Bill moved in. I think that's a fair point. I think having him in the squad, another leader, another voice, getting changed in the change rooms, in there with the lads. Do you know what? Fair enough. But if you've got a left-sided centre-back on the bench and your left-sided centre-back gets injured, you really want to be able to bring him on. Clearly, you want ready. But, it shows still that our squad isn't as strong as we would like. And all right, we're still carrying a few injuries. We had Montero on the bench that we've only just signed, and he's a child. And we had Cooper that was clearly not fit and available to play football because otherwise he'd have come on for Verba when he got injured, which means that's bare bones.
Thing is, as well, if he is on his way back, then sometimes you want to play like that on the bench because if there's an opportunity to give him 10 minutes, you will. If you 3-0 up and there's 10, 15 minutes to go, you might put him on. But obviously it didn't go that way. So there's an argument for that for me. It might not have been ready, but if we'd have been doing better, he'd have got a few minutes and he'd have come closer to full fitness. And that's something that coaches have to weigh up.
I agree with this one.
Go on. What is it?
If only Rasmus was as hard as he looked, more Vinnie Jones style, when he's strong players, not wet lettuces. I mean, that's my issue at the moment with Aronson, is he's too lightweight. And I think if you look at Harrison and the physiology changes he's gone through since he signed, because when he signed, he was a bit too lightweight, and he's we've seen he's more difficult to knock off the ball. Yeah, okay, his decision making and his end product still needs work. But his first touch and now his physicality is different. And Aronson's got a lot of work to do to bring that to his game because he's just too easy to brush off the ball. I put Rasmus in the same. He looks like he's got the physicality.
Yeah, it does.
But he doesn't play like it. He looks like he can be bullied. Sorry, he doesn't look like. He looks like he shouldn't be bullied. He plays and gets bullied by players that just don't appear like they should be able to.
Like a Rizzler in the wind.
That's right. Someone said that about him on BNC, actually. Said he was like a silver Rizzler. Aronson, I mean. But yeah, they should get him on Tough Mudder or something. Get him working their asses off.
They should get
him on Celebrity SAS.
Get Western Mechanic, because there's a bit of a unitist lad, and gaffer tape Aronson to the front of him.
Just have him run around.
Just with his legs dangling. And just have him fucking running around with Aronson at front of him. That'd be
just
class.
running into people.
Not like them blow up men.
Yeah.
They might
take him out from
total
recall, isn't it?
It is Luke saying things that I've already said. That's cool.
Slow sports news, here he is.
Here's what Jack Harrison was hopeless at everything on Saturday. The one thing I would say about Jack Harrison is in the game before, I said I thought he was my man of the match for up to 70 minutes. He went off after, 70 minutes or whatever, and Scum game at home.
Yeah.
But the effort that he put in, the endeavour that he put in, and the way that he'd occupied 2 defenders at just about every point of the game that he were on the pitch for, I'd have given him my man of the match. And that's variability and outputting it. That's the biggest frustration with Jack Harrison, because it's clear he's got the talent.
Like that?
It's clear he's got the talent.
Do you think it's the Leicester thing fucked with him psychologically?
No, I wouldn't have
Or
thought
do you think
so.
it's just out of form?
Scum, didn't he?
Yeah,
He
but
performed against Scum twice. You know, when I don't know if it was. I think it was Scum when they took Bamford and Harrison off at the same time. I think around the 70th minute, you could see there were a massive shift in you know, from us being, you know, quite dominant in long periods of game, and it was just like literally a little tidal wave that came over us then, and that was it. And I think 100%. That was down to the substitutions that were made in error. To be fair,
the worst thing about that is the entire stadium kind of sighed, because we all knew that was about to happen, but it was already done by then. Yeah.
I want to like Harrison more than I do, but I just think, do you know what, mate? You actually don't offer anything apart from running around like a Rizzler paper flapping in the wind, and you just get brushed aside. You literally do nothing. You collect the ball, run it at a few players, get fucking tackled or brushed off by a 5-year-old school child, and then and then that's it. And then
the only goal he scored this season, the one that Chelsea delivered him on a plate. Has he scored any other goals? And
he's been shite since.
Hit the post, didn't he, with a free kick? That was closest he's come, I think.
But I can't remember any other Aronson goals other than the one at Chelsea when he fair enough. He's put pressure on the keeper and he's won the ball, and then he's put it in the back of the net. But I can't remember any other goals from him, and I can't remember any assists either. When I now that I mention it,
he doesn't do anything.
He doesn't do anything. He does fucking all.
He just runs around like headless chicken.
He got one last night.
I'd rather have Charlie Gray or something.
He did get one last night.
They need to get.
21 is all right.
Is it Charlie Gray?
They need to get Wilson making a video montage for him. They need to get Wilson making a montage for him.
Archie Gray, thank you. I don't know whether
get him in gym, where he's like flipping tires and he's like pushing one of them blocks up a track.
And actually have the montage song from Team America.
That's what I want to see.
That's
what I want to see. And then I want to see him come out like a beast.
I am wrong.
People.
I am wrong. I'll put my hands up. I am wrong. He's got 2 assists. So only the one goal, which is the one that Chelsea delivered him on a silver platter. But he does have 2 assists and 1 assist in Premier League 2, which gives him 2 assists and 2 goals. A goal in the Premier League 2 gives him 2 goals and 2 assists in 26 appearances.
Wow.
It's not a great return on a 30-odd million pound player, is it?
It's not really.
Well, don't worry.
Here's one.
We've got Tyler Rootberg to come on. But so whatever he's called.
No, you need to give him a bit more time. I think you can't pass judgment on him after these fucking.
I'm passing judgment on him. He looks like Mr. Fucking Soft.
Tyler Rootberg.
I think we've to appreciate that we are going through a bit of a change at the club and all that sort of thing. Whatever.
He don't look like it.
You might be right, mate. You might be right, mate. But
he looks like Mr. Soft.
I don't particularly agree with that from Tony.
He runs
I disagree with Tony.
out of soft cheese.
Somebody read that out.
Tony Hurst.
Lad, what do you think?
Tony Hurst, just saying what Smarty's just said before I could say it. Cheers, mate. I don't agree with that. To be fair, Tony, I don't think he played particularly well against Everton, but on the evidence before that, he looked decent to me. He looked like what we needed.
He's come from a really slow league, a very slow league, and he's coming to the Premier League in the midfield, which is a tough ask.
But again, for me, his passing is on par with...
Rutter, then, what you've just said. Sorry, Cal.
He's not coming on in midfield.
Well, he's not.
Smarty. No, he is. He came on against Accrington.
Yeah.
Started against them.
And looked shite.
All right. So, regardless of the midfield, I didn't really mean specifically midfield. I mean, I had that perspective to Rutter's performances. He's coming into the Premier League as a young kid who's not played or whatever since November or whenever he's not played since.
Our record signing.
Yeah, I know, but we said
record signing.
We said this about fucking Rodrigo.
Oh, careful.
All sorts of names are coming out. Charlie Gray, remember him?
Charlie Gray and
Yeah,
Rodrigo.
We can't be firing into Rutte just yet. Like, fucking, we need to give him more time.
He's done, mate.
Okay.
You've heard it here. He's done.
That's
He's
fine.
ghost. No, I hope it works out. But
we all do.
It needs to.
Does he genuinely look like he
should
should be our record signing?
He does look like
could
somebody that
punch
the price
Victor
tag's
Orta in the
weighing
face,
on.
would you?
Oh yeah.
Huh?
It looks like the price tag might be
What?
weighing on him. But yes, Smarty would.
You would.
What were
I would.
your questions, Martin?
What?
What were your question?
Why do you keep muting me?
I'm
What are you
not.
talking about?
What was your
What's going
question?
on? Is he having a moment or something?
I don't know
Smarty,
if that's
what-
you guys. I don't know if that's you guys mucking about my volume or what, because my
No,
volume's
you're
going
not.
off.
You're not being muted.
We can still hear you.
What was your question? Is what I asked. Okay.
What's he doing there?
He thinks that we've sabotaged him.
I don't know. Did you hear what the question he asked? Did he ask if we wanted to punch Rutter in the face? Punch
No,
Rutter
no,
in
he
the
said
face?
he said Victor Orta. He said if you could, would you
Oh,
punch
right.
Victor Orta in the face?
I did think it a bit harsh to say he's just a child and then ask if we wanted to punch him in the face.
Let's kick fuck out of him. That'll teach him.
That'll toughen him up.
Yeah, fucking right.
I figured I'd misheard it, and that's why I wanted to check. Because I would love to punch Victor Orta in the face, but I think it would be really harsh to punch a child in the face.
Like to punch
I don't think
Victor
he'd get
Orta in
away
the
with
face
it.
and then shove Ramsey's phone up his fucking ass.
Is Smarty taking himself out of the podcast?
He looks
must
very
have. Sorry, I
confused.
didn't
He does look confused, doesn't he?
He
I'm
looks
just
like
gonna put a
he's...
message for him in the private chat.
I think his headphones are dying, you know.
That's it, you know. See, there's a lot to be said for wired headphones.
That's right. You just have to remember to plug them in, unlike me when I first got here.
Yeah.
I'm thinking I can't hear anyone. And then, oh yeah.
Oh, he's gone completely.
Right. Well, we'll take this opportunity to move on to where we would have had the poll because we've been going on a while there. Went off on a tangent, but you know that's what we do because it's like few lads in pub, not a proper podcast.
Thanks for that feedback, whoever gave us that on Apple Podcast. These guys could have just had this conversation in the pub. I will physically hurt myself if I ever listen to this again. That was the feedback we had.
No, didn't he moan about the sax music at the end, or was that someone else?
Oh,
No, that was somebody else, I think.
Oh, okay. We
Here's
love all
the
the
whole-
good feedback that we get there, folks.
Do you know what? Whatever your
Keep those
feedback
messages
is, just keep it coming. Just bring it along. Let's have your feedback. If you don't like the exit music, if you don't like the start music, just let us know where your head's at.
If you don't like
And if you
Gilly,
don't like it,
know.
you could all fuck right off anyway.
Hey!
Can you hear us now?
Yeah.
What,
happened?
it?
Your battery's
I've no
down.
idea.
Headphones or something.
I just saw you guys. All of a sudden, I turned into mute. I thought, have I gone deaf? I don't know what happened.
You look
I
I would
really
ask you
pissed
the
off.
question
You look-
that
you
you'd
look
asked because
really
I genuinely,
annoyed.
Yeah,
I've not
I'm
heard
proper
what you
pissed off.
said. Jay,
Do you know why? Because I thought it would him.
asking
I
if
thought
it
it
was
would
Orta.
this wanker here. I thought it would
You
dicking around with my volume.
I
I thought,
missed you.
I thought, is he mucking about with his settings or what? What am I doing? Because I'm not a technological sort of person. I ain't got a clue. I just see
I mean,
sat there confused and getting.
I'll be
angry.
honest.
Angry.
If it were going to be anybody, I get why you'd think it'd be me.
Yeah.
You know well it wouldn't be me, like fucking hell.
And I just can't.
All
be
right,
asked
Bandy,
to
I've,
do
I've,
that.
I've still got mine.
Oh, there you go, Carl. Aldridge's nick you 2 pint of Gilly.
No, so smart. No, genuinely
Yeah,
smart.
get it.
I'd not heard your question.
Oh, that was me.
I've not heard your question. I thought you'd asked if we wanted to punch Rutter in the face, which I thought was harsh, having just called him a child, and I'm thinking, don't call somebody a child and then say you're going to smack them up.
Yeah. No.
Jay, let me know what you'd asked, and the question,
Yes.
the answer to the question was yes.
It has been answered.
Excellent.
We were just moving on, Smarty, until you like reappeared in a ball of fury. Just saying, this is where we normally have the
Ball of
poll
rage.
and we go through that, but we were expecting the announcement today with the new manager, so we didn't bother doing that because we knew what would win and what we'd be talking about. So, how are we feeling about our new main man, Javi Gracia? Not Garcia. Go on, Gilly.
Me first.
Go on.
I think the important element is if you look at his history and the way that he prefers to play, I think the positive element that I've seen, and I've read a couple of pieces. I've not done a great amount of research because we've not had that much time to do it in. But a couple of the people that are at Christ, Liverpool are losing 5-2. That's ace.
They were 2 up after 15 minutes or something as well.
That is ace.
Fantastic.
Fuck me.
Get them in the bin. That is ace.
I can't wait to see
That's-
Turkey TV.
Do you know what? That's proper cheered me up. That's really cheered me up.
I need to text my Liverpool supporting mate now.
I was in a position where I hated football again until I saw that. I love that. I fucking hate Liverpool. It's ace. So to go back to, I think one of the most positive things is, although he's got his preferred formations, the people that have worked most closely with him and the reporters and so on that have followed his side most closely, what I've seen is his adaptability based on the playing staff that he has available to him. And that's music to my ears, because if you think you're going to come in and do a 3-5-2, now, Jason and I have not seen eye to eye on this on a couple of occasions recently when we've been talking about different, because we were talking about Nuno playing a 3-5-2, and then this guy coming in and he did the same at Watford. And I were going, but our strength is wingers. You're going to play without them. But we get to put Willie up front, and it's like, well, hang on a minute. Yeah, that's fine. You get a second striker where he's played before, but where he's really excelled for us has been on the wing. So I think for me, what we really, I really think there's a lot of, once Rocker's available again, and I still don't even know what's wrong with him, but once Rocker's available again, I think there's a lot of mileage in trying a 4-3-3. Oh, that's a lot of echo that I'm getting.
Is your shit gone up again?
It's fine. It's fine.
I got a lot of echo for just one statement then, and then it seems to have gone again.
It was a speaker on.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of mileage in the 4-3-3 with Adam sitting, still looking to get Firpo and Ayling forward and provide us that width, which means either Rocker or McKennie dropping in to provide that anchor there. But they're intelligent enough footballers to be able to do that. They've both played in the Champions League. We're not talking about players that are right at the start of their careers.
Yeah.
This is it should be meat and drink for them to be able to drop in and see the shape of the side and be coached to that point. So I think there's a lot of mileage in 4-3-3 where you can have Jimmy or Jack and you can have Willie and they're playing either side of Paddy or Rodrigo or whoever's playing it central. With Rocker, Adams and McKennie behind him, I think there's a lot to be said for that in terms of the personnel we've got available to us. Equally, if we're going to play against the side that is going to sit deep, doing that 4-2-3-1 and having 4 forward players, 2 sitting, that allows the overloads that we were talking earlier on. That I really miss seeing those overloads. I want a fullback arriving at the dead ball line and playing that ball into that danger area, not getting it into mixer, but playing it on the floor into that danger area between edge at box and penalty spot, where there's somebody arriving at the edge of the box to just put it away. We don't have a Pablo. We need a Pablo that can do that. But that's what we got used to seeing. And do you know what? We've still got the personnel that's capable of doing that. So the 4-2-3-1 and the 4-3-3, I think there's loads of mileage in both of them. And I think the 4-3-3 allows us a much greater flexibility when, going back to what Smarty's saying about with ball and without ball. It allows us that extra solidity in our formation. But you can quickly change that into a 4-2-3-1 and impress yourself on the opponent. And I think when you read about his history, it's very much about him using the squad that he's got available to him, rather than going, no, you need to play this way. It's right, okay, what have I got available to me? And then changing that and translating that into what he needs to see on the pitch from the playing staff.
That's exactly what we need.
It really is.
Having someone come in like Marsh, even with a rigid idea of it has to be like this. We have to play this way. This is what works. Even in the face of it not working, somebody that comes in and says, all right, so I've got these players that can do this. I've got this guy that can go there, this guy that can go there. How am I going to get the best out of them? How are we going to create the most chances, stay the tightest at the back? That's what I want from a manager. I want a coach. I want a head coach who can look at the players he's got and will work a system around them rather than try to fit square pegs around fucking holes.
Yeah, the real strength of any manager, not in football, but any manager, is knowing who needs a kick up the arse, who needs an arm around the shoulder, who needs to do what, and playing to the strengths of the people that you've got available to you. And that's any management role in any role across the world. It's not football related. That's just a truism. That's just a thing. So him coming in and looking at the squad, rather than him coming in and going, we're going to play penis ball and I'm going to play without width, even though our real strength is fucking wingers. That would doom to failure right from the start. And that's why Smarty said, well, he's going to be gone by Christmas, because he came in and he said, I'm going to do, this is my philosophy and this is what I'm going to do.
Liam saying Yavi comes along as a no-nonsense type of man, which I believe Leeds players now need. Everton performance showed me some players didn't understand what the badge means. Can't argue with that.
No, I absolutely can't. And just lastly, the other point was, the reporters went to great pains to say he comes across as a person that can be softly spoken when things are going well and can turn that around very quickly when they're not. And that you've got to have that in your locker as a manager.
I like that though. I like that because the thing they're all leveling at Potter is he's too nice and all this, isn't it? And you need a guy where like he's relaxed most of the time, but when he's fucking angry, you know he's angry, and that'll fucking get something out of you. That'll make you think, oh shit, we've upset him here. You know, when he's normally laid back and he's all jovial, well done lads, great, blah blah. You come in after a shit half like that first half against Everton, and he lays into you when he's normally all nice and fucking calm. Then you know that you've fucked up. That'll get some fire in your belly, surely.
Yeah.
Convinces
what do you think, Karl?
Somerville to like just coax him into
one.
Just go and have a look in there, Mo Cotton, and throw a load of firecrackers in a shut door behind him and hold him. You fucking little bastard!
Go on then, Smarty.
Pull your finger out.
Go on.
No, you won't.
What do you think about him?
That sounds more like Mario Balotelli than anything else.
Yeah.
Firework party in his bathroom.
Set up a load of fireworks, and when it comes out, just pelt him with bloody custard pies.
But he were also firing. He were firing air gun pellets at junior players as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. Yeah. Just this one from Alison here, Gilly. Was it you that said that earlier, or was it someone else that said stop listening to the leadership group or letting them influence?
Do you know what? I've seen this a couple of times. I'm really torn on this because actually, it really, really made a difference to Rodrigo's game.
Yeah. I think you need a leadership group, but I don't think they should have enough power to be overturning.
And that's the other side to it. You know, you saw Nathan Jones, he of the God Rod, just before he was sacked, saying, "I've made too many concessions and allowed the team to have too much say and too much influence in what I'm doing, and therefore I'm going to go back to what I was doing," and then he was sacked. So I think there's definitely that balance. But you need. I personally think, as a manager, a football manager, they have to have somebody that will talk on a level with the players and will give them shit. You know, you look at the quality captains that we've seen over the years. They're the ones that will tear strips off people. Now, I've got, we've spoken about Cooper a lot, and I've always had times for him. I still think he's got a lot to offer us, especially as a leader, but he's not somebody that I expect is going to tear strips off people when they need it. Adams does. Yeah, and you've just popped up there the fact, Jamie coming in, make Adams captain, that should be his first move. I'm not 100% sure on that. I think maybe a transitional period in the summer, but if he's still going to be here, because he won't be here next year if we get relegated. But if we survive and he's here next year, I think that's a transitional period, because I don't think you take it off Cooper mid-season. I think that's the wrong move for me.
And Bill being vice captain, you don't take it off him either.
No, you don't. But Adams, and what really impressed me about him is he does not give two shits who it is that he's talking to. He was straight into Bill. Bill came back in. Bill got something wrong. Adams got straight into him and went, "That's fucking wrong. You sort your fucking shit out." And that's what you need.
Yeah, you do.
And you don't need to be a captain to do that. But your captain needs to be able to do that.
I'd quite happily make Adams captain.
Captain America.
Now. And Verba vice captain. Giving him some shit at the back.
And here's, just from Matt, here's a fair point.
Yeah, absolutely. But should the
Bielsa
players
allowed
choose
the
a
players
captain?
to choose the well, Bielsa allowed that, and do you know more about football than Bielsa? I think we all know more about football than Marsh. None of us know more about football than Bielsa.
That is true.
I think
Bielsa's
Tyler
one of those
Adams-
people where it's like the phrase "is forgotten more than I'll ever know" is just completely true.
Oh, no.
I think if Adams had been round in that time in the Championship, the players would have probably picked Adams as well.
Yep,
You know,
maybe.
Possibly,
Absolutely,
possibly,
yeah.
possibly.
Times
wasn't
have
it-
changed. Teams
what-
changing, so have everything else.
Wasn't Cooper
Come on,
picked
Carl,
as
what you gonna
captain
say?
in the Monk era, though, wasn't he? That's when... Was it at the Christiansen
Cooper
era,
wasn't
or
even
was
getting
it,
on fucking field in Monkey. It were bloody
Well, it must have been
what's his
the
name? Janssen and other lad.
Darren O'Day.
West Brom. No.
Really?
The lad that went back to West Brom. We had him on loan, didn't we? He'd been at Arsenal with Bill as a youth player.
Yeah.
God.
Kyle Bartley.
That's
Partly. Yeah.
Couldn't think
My
of his
brain
name.
kept going
Bartley and
Leon
Janssen.
Bailey, and I was like, it's not
So
fucking
Cooper
Leon
was just
Bailey.
sat on bench.
How
wasn't
did we not
he?
get
So-
that Pontus Janssen and Carl Bartley? How did we not know?
I had to do the song. I had to do the song to get the name.
But you said his name?
Completely blank.
Carl Bartley. There you go.
There you go. Got it.
I
There you
went
go.
blank.
To be fair, when he went, we brought Berardi into the song, and I'd do that anytime, Berardi days.
Yeah. It's class.
I thought it was the other way around. I thought Bill came and got Bartley to come.
I thought it was the other way around as
Yeah,
well.
it is. Yeah, it is.
So.
Yeah, I think so.
Kev Marston with the. You should work for OKB with the facts over there.
Hey, he's probably done more research.
Another one for
than you,
Bucks.
hasn't he?
Alison, get him signed up.
Side note. Cal, what do you think about Gracia coming in and how we might play and stuff? What are you expecting?
There was a nice thread earlier on of games where the
A nice thread.
Of games where it just showed different examples of the style of play that he likes to incorporate and stuff like that. And look, it looked promising. And to be fair, I think he'd done all right and was very unlucky to get sacked after 4 games. I know I said a little bit earlier when we touched on it, but when you look at some of the stuff, there's a good video on that Tifo football where he breaks down his tactics while he's been at Watford.
Yeah.
And in ways he does like to cut inside and be a little bit similar to, Marsh ball, but that's only when he kind of exhausts any kind of options out wide. He'll alter the kind of pattern of play to help that. And what happens is then he tends to push like defensive players and midfield players a little higher up the pitch if the ball's turned over, to force a long ball back then down into our defensive area, which you would hope then that your 2 centre-backs could then defend aerially. So I think there's a lot of stuff that our players are very capable of within the tactics that he uses. And I think if we can get them kind of known fairly quickly, then I don't see why the football can't be better to watch. Hopefully, I'm just sick of this the football that we were at Notting Dog. Yeah. No, I'm not. No, I'm not sitting on a Notting Dog. No.
That's class. Oh,
But-
no.
No.
Oh,
Is that calling him Churchill now? That's your new name, Churchill. Fucking Scottish Churchill.
Yeah.
Christ.
More Nicola Sturgeon.
You don't come here to get abused, do you, Carl? You come to spread your wisdom with us fellow
Where does he
members of
normally go?
OKB. He just gets abuse.
Winston's.
What's going on?
For
You have to pay for
Jeweler.
that abuse, though. That's the fucking only problem. At least it's free on here.
That is true. We're helping with the cost of living crisis on here.
That's it. Yeah. You're really sorting out me kinks, lads. Thanks. So yeah, I think there is kind of a lot to kind of be hopeful for, in the sense that he will try and get us playing some kind of form of attractive.
There must be 3
football, so
people in
happy
there
days.
that answered.
That's
the
what
mark
Luke's
in
just said.
subscribing.
Then we can
Jeez.
give away that damn shirt.
Secretary's earlock.
Get us to 1K. Come on. Come on.
Come on, get us to 1,000.
No, we could get there tonight. Do you know, if there's 3 people that have not subscribed to our YouTube channel that are online tonight, just get us there to 1,000 and then we can line up the shit. Go on, get us there.
Everyone
Nice.
can then unsubscribe, but at least we can.
We've all felt
that
shit.
time when we got to 1,000
We want to get to
subscribers.
1,000
We
subscribers.
used to be big timers, you know.
We've all felt shit since Everton. Cheer us up, lads and lasses. Come on.
Yeah.
So back to the. I was just
go.
about to just back to the one thing that I didn't say, and you look at, you know, I mentioned before. I think Paddy got 16 in our promotion season and 17 in our finishing 9th in the Premier League season. Given what we've got, that Rodrigo's injured and we're short on confidence, we're short on goals. Just suck Paddy's cock. Give him whatever he wants. Just make him feel like just make him feel like he's the best footballer that has ever put on a pair of boots. And
He needs to come
just
to
tell
Winston's
him-
with me.
Yeah. Tell him he can have
Paddy.
Rubber Julie when
You've got a discount.
just
Brother Julie's got a fresh new pair of fucking marigolds for you.
tell him that
go.
he's got
He might get a
everything.
rubber foot.
Just tell him he's the main man and always will be, and that you're going to love him forever. Just give him all of the love you can. Wrap him in cotton wool through the week. Give him all the love you can, and tell him he's your main man. And
I
just
remember
wind
an
him up and
interview
set him going.
I remember an interview when he first came to us and he said, "Oh, I've never been anywhere and really been the main man. It's what I've always wanted." And he said those words. Give him a little
Wind him up
shoulder
and
rub,
set him going.
little massage, you know, get him going, and then out you go, Paddy. You're the man. Fucking do it. It's the only hope
Hang
we've
on.
got right now.
Hey, come on. Let's go.
Thanks for your
Thanks
love
everybody
and
for your support.
Thank you. Very much.
That is 1,000
Okay,
subscribers,
we
and
get
yep.
1,000.
Beers to that.
I
Nice
feel
one.
like I need some celebration music, but I ain't got any to hand, so we're fucked. You just have to put up with us looking happy.
Oh, do you know what? I so nearly clicked on something that I shouldn't. I can't. I nearly did.
Oh,
I can't. No,
God.
it's fine. Carry on.
Oh, I
No,
know what you're going to.
the faux advert, but I can't do it
Oh.
to him while he's watching,
Oh.
and he's got us to 1,000 followers.
It would be brilliant.
The what?
You'd be my favourite person forever, Gilly, if you play that.
I'm not clicking it.
Don't give him ideas. It's like me with the prompter. Whatever's on there, I'll read it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's happened before.
Oh,
Cheers, Liam.
Thanks,
Cheers,
lads.
Nick.
It's big moves, that. Well done, lads. Nice one. Thank you, everyone.
Big licks now, lads.
Genuinely, I'm
Begging
buzzing
gets
with
you
that.
everywhere. Yes,
Breaking
yes, it
1,000.
does.
Yes. And we're not ashamed to do it either. You should have seen me and Winston's with Rubber Julie. You should see what I beg her to do.
Well,
It'd make your
apparently
fucking eyes
her
water.
first 1,000 were the hardest.
Oh.
Played tailored after that, lads.
We
Then
were
she met
literally stuck
Smarty.
at like 450 for bloody ages, weren't we?
Yeah, we
Absolutely
were.
ages. But no, thanks for that.
Christ.
And that's
Big
when we were
news,
like,
thank you,
oh, should we
everybody.
change the name? Should we do this? Should we do that? And now we can't.
No.
So
Should we
Well,
talk
do you
about
know what?
Southampton for a bit?
we could change.
Even
we
if
could
the
change it
dickhead
to Orta
fucks
fuck off.
Even if the dickhead fucks off, it was, well, we ought to know better.
Exactly.
We still
Just
get it,
add
right?
an N to the end of it, and we're sound.
Yeah.
Orta Know Better.
Orta Bell End.
Yeah.
How about some of that?
Fuck
Right,
yeah.
Smarty, come on. I never managed to get to you to see what you think about the appointment and what you think he might do, because, you know, Gilly kept fucking telling us all sorts. Carl kept
Sorry,
going
fellas.
on.
Well, hopefully not more of the same.
What fucking hell? That goes without
Hopefully
saying,
not
I
more
think.
of the same. Hopefully it can give the lads a bit of a boost. You never know. We may, for the first time ever, get a new manager bounce. You know, we talk about it a lot. It's a bit of a myth, but you never know. And if we're going to beat
Southampton got a
anyone...
no manager bounce.
Well, that's true.
We
But
didn't.
if we're going to beat anyone, then Southampton's a good place to frigging start, innit?
It's a must win, mate.
I don't know how much time he's got because of the work permit that he's got to have. I don't know whether he can actually start having the lads start training them and that. But
So just on that, I was having a conversation about this earlier, and I think.
Have you done any work today?
This was after work this evening. Thank you. No, we were having a conversation while waiting for the takeaway to arrive. That is now downstairs waiting for me, going cold.
Oh, not another late takeaway.
Yeah, it was. This one's absolutely my fault. This wasn't a delayed one like the last one. I just ordered this one late. No, it was very much around. Oh, for fuck's sake! You've put me off my fucking point, and now I can't remember the point I'm going to make.
it's fine.
I'm starving. I want my tea.
I want my tea and my pizza.
You made me think of food. No, it's a curry. I've got garlic chili
Another
chicken
curry.
waiting for me.
What is it with you? Tuesday curry. Tuesday, it's like bloody Weatherspoon's curry. Now,
isn't it?
Right.
Welcome to
20%
the
off,
podcast.
innit?
20% off Just Eat, yeah.
You cheeky Tuesday, innit?
Tuesday. You know, like Macmillan have coffee mornings. We have curry nights on pod. That's us. Everyone just needs to get a curry.
No, hang on. Stop talking about food. I've remembered.
I think that's a little bit different, but
I've remembered. Let's imagine Bielsa goes on holiday somewhere and somebody recognises him and they've got a semi-pro football team going on or whatever. He doesn't need a work permit to go along and help him train, does he?
I don't.
He's not getting paid. So you get the fucker involved in training. It doesn't matter. He might not be able to be in the dugout at the weekend because then it would be him. Exactly. Just get him.
FA come knocking on door. Have you been training these players when you're not actually able to? No.
Well, because what is it? 4 days before a game, you're not allowed to spy on them, so they can fuck off. They're not allowed to come and watch our training.
Yeah, you go. That's a good point. Yeah,
it's like just like when iPlayer says, "Have you got a TV license?" and you go, "Yes." Click the button.
Well, yeah. So I don't know. I just hope that it can instill some confidence. Like I say, maybe give them a couple of reach rounds, like Gillies said with Bamford or whatever.
Whatever it takes, mate.
Whatever it takes to make them feel $1 million. You go out there and beat them arseholes from down south. Cheers. That'll
Patrick, we know you're sick of them posh birds. We've got your brass from Beeston. Robert Jewish is coming.
Take Robert Julie on tour. Who wants first go?
Fuck's sake.
What's he on about?
I don't know.
There's probably he's probably still typing the next bit of it. To be fair,
Probably is.
With his fat fingers.
Got me wondering now.
Are we going to do some predictions for the Southampton game or something?
We've not even talked about the Southampton game.
We're not actually talking about the Southampton game.
No, we haven't.
I don't know what to expect. What do you expect?
I think I like to just let you guys flow when I'm hosting because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So,
Gilly, if you need a wee, go and have a wee, Gilly. Yeah. Go and grab yourself a poppadom and an onion bhaji.
Well, that's one of the wee beds to bring it up.
I've run out of pakora, but I've got some cold chips.
He's got a bucket of chips next to it.
He's sat there with his Bombay mix next to his mouth. His
keyboard's
having a bit of a chow down.
All right, are we doing predictions for Saints and chat about the game, or
we'll chat about it?
Sure.
While Gilly goes for a tink. Oh.
Go on.
No, we're all right. I'm fine.
All right.
We'll.
If it were big
which
enough,
way around you doing it, Jay? You're running this show.
Yeah, we'll do predictions, then we'll talk about why.
Orta Know Better predictions.
Right then, Jay, I'm coming to you then.
Yeah, you might as well, mate.
Do the predictions and then talk about blind hope and confusion as to why we'll probably get it fucking wrong.
Do you know what? I've got it in my head. We're going to end up drawing this game, and we're all going to be just like, "Oh, fucking hell!" But I'm still, despite that, I'm going to go for a 2-1 Leeds win because I have to fucking believe we can win this game.
Go on, Smarty. Have a go. It's not positive. No. I mean, have a go at Jay.
I don't know. Where do you
Don't give me a prediction. Have a go at him.
I think we're going to lose, but fuck it. 10-0 Leeds.
No, I said I think we may draw, but I have to believe we can win, so I'm going with a win.
I believe that we will win. We will win. Fuck you, Jay.
Fucking hell. Fire, man. We don't need any more of him. He's doing me fucking head in.
He's more of an happy clapper than frigging Luke, isn't he? Honestly.
I'm not actually. I'm just an optimist.
Oh, hang on. What's
You're a
going on here
blind
now?
optimist. You're a bloody idiot.
Sort of. That has been said before.
Anyway, well done.
No, that's not right. Is it one you over
No, it's
there?
not. Here you go.
There we go.
Oh, God.
You'd be
8-1
fucking
manager
insane
bounce.
in the comments.
There we go.
81 manager bounce.
I'm going to have to go back some to see the fans' predictions articles when we were talking about the previous predictions results. Loads of fans
They would have
steamed in with
flooded
their predictions. Yeah.
Fastest
I'm gonna
finger
have to go
first,
back
wasn't it?
and have a, well, that's what she said. So then I will come to you this time, then, Smarty.
Oh fucking hell! Do you know what? I'm gonna be a vanilla bastard like my mate over here and go 2-1 Leeds.
Got to be.
Well,
I believe in the bounce.
Believe.
I feel like I
We've
should sing
conceded
Share.
2 goals average per game all season. So
Shut up.
2-2.
Desmond. Okay.
Sorry, dog's barking.
I think it's absolutely 100% nailed on. That probably the best free kick taker in the league. They're gonna get a free kick against us, and they're gonna get it in a dangerous position. And you know he's gonna put it in fucking postage stamp.
Yes,
it's
but
because
they're gonna
Melia will have
we
fucked off
have
for
a
a Capri Sun.
goalkeeper who has unbelievable positional sense.
That's what I mean. Melia will have fucked off to the bench for a Capri Sun whilst bloody Ward Prowse is lining up his frigging free kick.
Capri Sun.
So
Capri Sun.
Yeah.
but I am saying that they're going to score 1 goal, and that 1 goal is going to come from there. If you look at them, actually, I think there's 2 players in their first team that gets into our 18.
Yeah.
And they've got a fullback and a free kick taker, and that's it. There's nothing else, and that's where I was coming from. Your free kick taker, that's it. Fucking that's my curry downstairs.
Got poppered on brain.
I think we are going to get a bounce, and I think we are going to score some goals, and I think we are going to batter them, and I think we're going to go forward.
Oh,
all right.
Gilly, man.
Fucking hell. Go on, Smarty.
-3
Lay
if you get
into
it
him. You fucking
-3.
shit.
-3 if you get it wrong.
We're going to batter them.
Volunteer -3.
That's a bold
Fucking
prediction,
forward.
Gilly, man.
Yeah, no, we're going to batter them.
Fuck.
Hey, maybe the
You're
shackles
making me
will be
question
off
my
once, who
2-all.
knows?
No.
Who knows? Maybe the shackles will
It's
be off.
the sun.
We're going to batter them. And do you know what? They are still the bottom of the league. If we can't beat them,
We deserve to go down.
fists.
Fist the sun.
The sun. Right.
He's selfish
Just be
and come up
careful
to
how you say
Winston's.
that. It's not fisting somebody's son. It's fisting the sun.
Fisting the sun, yeah.
Physical.
I don't know. There's enough people put the kids up front with signs.
Mate, what the
on the
fuck is
shirts.
going on with your name?
Fucking hell.
Kids, guys. What the fuck's he doing this? That'll be Luke or...
That's Luke in the background there. Look.
That's pretty good, that, to be fair.
Jesus.
I only noticed it when he popped the fucking thing back down and the names came back up.
Fuck me. All right. Has anyone got an Orta Know Bitter this week?
Oh, where do you
Are
start?
we all good?
Where do you
It
start?
sounds like you've got one, Smarty. Roll the video, Gilly.
No.
What do you mean? No, you can't say that.
Mine's not good for family viewing. Nope.
Oh, dear.
No. But it's after the watershed.
There's many things I'd
yeah,
like
you're
to
fine.
say, but not on this
Go on,
podcast.
then.
No.
You just
Come on,
don't
Smarty,
talk to
just
see
lay it
that.
out, man.
No. I'd be
Orta Know
with...
Bitter with Rachel Adedeji.
Don't bottle it now, Smart.
Nope.
Come on, Smarty.
We've just got to 1,000 subscribers, lads. We can't be getting banned off YouTube. Nope.
Do you know what? Do you know what? Fuck it, right? I mean, right.
Yeah, here we go.
Here we go.
It's the board this week. They can fuck off. Do you know what? There's so many fucking bastards out there, right? Leeds fan bastards. And some of them might even be watching. And do you know what? I'm going to apologise up front, even though I've just already called you bastards. But it really, really fucks me off that this board can fail to such a massive extent and still get the backing of them. And still people saying, oh, Marsh deserved a bit more time. No, fuck off. Marsh got about 3 months longer than he should have done. And oh yeah, we wouldn't have got promoted without them. We wouldn't have got promoted without Bielsa. They got really lucky. I still, even this morning, well, Bielsa was the one that said he wanted a thin squad. Bielsa said he wanted 18 first-team players and to shore that up when needed with the under-21s or under-23s as it was at the time. What he wanted was 18 quality players and to then stop. No more than that. That's what he wanted. And then he would fill in with the under-23s. What we ended up
9 of them at a time.
But what we ended up with was nowhere near 18 quality first-teamers. It was always shored up by kids. And that's regardless of injuries. So you've got people, gullible people out there going, well, they wanted to sign players, but Bielsa kept turning them down. Well, if Bielsa were turning them down, he was openly saying he wanted players of a better caliber. So if he was turning them down, it's because they weren't good enough. Yeah. They weren't the players that we needed. Now, who are we going to trust? Who are we going to trust? Is it Rads and Orta and Kinnear? Or is it Bielsa of the caliber of player that we wanted to bring in?
Mate, first thing he did was get rid of you and O'Kane. I'm with Bielsa.
Yeah. Like
he made Alioski and Click and other those players that actually at that time we were thinking, Calvin was on his way out. I don't care what anybody says. There were a bunch of people, 90 plus % of the Leeds fans would have been all right him leaving for somewhere between 700,000 and 1 million.
There were people who were pissed off that we sold Moat and not Calvin.
No, there was people pissed off we sold Renato
Vieira.
Yeah,
that too.
Vieira. Including Bielsa, I think. But not the Phillips bit, but he wanted to keep Vieira. And I think he made that clear at the time, but it needed to happen for whatever reason. But
so it could buy Bamford.
Well, yeah. And you know what? Got us promoted. Got us
Money well spent. Money well spent.
So I think for me, the thing that's really, there's a bunch of things that are pissing me off all the time. Liverpool still existing, the scum still existing, Bowley at Chelsea playing fucking football manager, and Man City getting away with everything under the sun, and all sorts of sport washing, and UEFA being shit, and FIFA being shit, and World Cups not being where they should fucking be, and all of that sort of shit. but closer to that's just the last 3 Orta Know Bitters I've done. Closer to home, our board have just fucked us. They've taken something.
Fuck Calvin Phillips. He made his choice. Fuck him.
Agreed. Mercenary bastard. I've put it out enough times. People have seen the image. The mercenary bastard.
Yeah.
No, our board is closer to home for me this time, and it's because our board have just properly shit the bed. They've properly fucked up. They've brought in the 49ers. I don't think they knew how to handle that. The 49ers are not the majority shareholders. So the people that are putting the money in...
he's hungry. He's hungry.
Yeah, have a Snickers.
And another thing.
Yeah. Other than everything to do, VAR is legitimately properly fucked because they've had to sack some fucking people that run it.
Oh yeah.
The refs are no better. PGMOL's failing. UEFA's failing. The only people at this point in time that look strong is the Premier League, and it's because it's the best marketed product in football. Yeah. It's the best product in football. It's just.
You see that bell end that Carragher shot down as well.
I was just thinking,
I mean, talking about, I spoke about it on last week's podcast. If you've been listening, Smarty, I think you were on it with
gullible me. Ball bag.
But yes, he did.
He did, but not about that comment about the Spanish league and stuff. About those comments that he made about Real Madrid and Barcelona, and Carragher absolutely shot him to shit.
When Carragher said,
it should be fair across the leagues, and it were like, no, exactly. Yeah.
For so long, Real Madrid just turned up and
cherry-picking all the players.
Wanted.
That was last week's Orta Know Bitter.
Yeah. And it was bang on with Carragher, and I hate to agree with the spitting twat. I've got
missing me off a minute.
There you go. I'll get off my soapbox now because for me, do you know what? I don't know. Does anybody know if the protest is still going ahead?
What protest?
There was supposed to be a protest outside. Outside East Stand.
Is it
I
another
didn't hear all
time
about
to go
that.
Massimo? A load of fucking bollocks.
Well, they've been talking about a protest. The thing is, right?
Jesus Christ.
Do you protest now that you've got a new manager in? I think that they wanted to drive behaviour to get a new manager in.
Yeah.
And this might have, we spoke about knee-jerk reactions and just bringing somebody in to get somebody in, and the fact that that's not what we wanted, even though we wanted somebody in post. But we didn't want just anyone. We wanted somebody in with some capability. I don't know if this is a knee-jerk reaction or if this is them getting the best person that they can get. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if there is still. I won't going to go anywhere because I don't think there's any point. What are you going to do? Board out? Well, the board will go when they're good and happy to go because it's on them. It's fully their decision.
Absolutely.
I think if we don't get a decent point, go on, mate.
Sorry, I think Gracia was the only one that they could get who would agree to the terms that they wanted to give.
You were the only sober one on the dance floor.
Yeah.
You don't want a sober one.
Right. Well,
I'm not
I've got a
slurring
mini
words.
one. I've got a mini one, and it's just.
I've heard that.
I was waiting for that.
That's what she said, Jay.
As soon as I said it, I thought, I wish I'd not used that. But anyway.
That's what she said.
Oh, fucking hell, yeah, boy. Jay walking into the fucking things. Baby
I
gates
walk
and
into the
shit.
fire and I come out the other side, mate. So I would just.
That's what she said.
It's called chlamydia, Jay.
Let's mute that fucker again.
You can get a cream.
Get on with it for fuck's sake.
There was somebody on. I will if you'd stop fucking talking. I know you've
I've
got a lot
hardly
of
said,
thoughts in
get
that
on,
big
come on,
fucking head
chop,
of yours,
chop.
But you just have to.
Fucking chop,
I'm
you little
starving.
Fuck me. So there was somebody on Twitter and he was saying, "Oh, we've got a manager, blah blah blah. When you go down there on Saturday, you cheer the team, you don't slag the board off, you don't sing songs about that, blah blah." Fuck off, mate. This lot have been a shit show, and the fact that they've got a manager in who's probably about 8th choice on the list. In fact, he won't even have been on the list. He's somebody they've come up with in the fucking ensuing panic. So, the guy might turn out to be a good appointment. We all hope he does. We're all relieved that he's got Premiership experience and he has done something in the past. But don't fucking come on and say to us, you can't slag the board off, you can't say this, you can't say that. We're paying customers, not just fans. You know what I mean? We're people who are putting our money where our mouths are. And we have a right to say whatever the fuck we want. And when we're paying for season tickets and buying shit beer and all that fucking crap for overpriced
High tax.
fans, yeah, fucking pie tax, yeah. That's what we want. And if these guys don't want to fucking hear it, they don't like it, then they should have done a better fucking job. And that's it. Do you know what I mean? You do well, you get all the praise. Everybody fucking loved Rads when we got promoted. Yeah, there were things that people thought, yeah, he could have done that better. But we got promoted, and that were the aim. We're happy. Since then, it's been a complete shit show. Just a litany of errors, just one thing after another. Everything you can think of that they could do wrong, they've done wrong. And if you're gonna,
Yeah, he's also got small hands.
He's not on about that. He's on about everybody in Wakefield seeing you handling yourself.
And if you're gonna do all that, if you're gonna take the plaudits, you're gonna take the pats on the back. You have to take the kicks in the fucking bollocks as well when you fuck up, and that's just how it is.
But he doesn't help himself, Jay. You're right, though.
Why don't you piss off? Cheers,
I'm sorry,
mate.
mate.
Cheers for
I
this.
tried helping you out there.
Needle dick. Cheers, mate. I mean, I rushed home to get here.
What's best shop in Wakey?
It might be a needle, but it smells like a fucking big needle, doesn't it, Jay?
It does, mate. It does. Makes them run for miles when I get it out. Anyway,
Cleopatra's.
I think it's time to wrap up.
What on earth?
I think it's time to wrap up on this note because I've had enough about talking about it. I came here to talk about football, not my dick. If anyone wants to talk about that, you can DM me later.
That's a totally different podcast, man.
We'll bring Rubber Julie on for that one.
Fucking hell, man.
Jesus Christ.
Knowing my look smart, it'd be Rubber John.
Rubber Jim.
We got asked.
Come on, I've got to work some on it.
No, I'm trying to fucking finish, mate. We've been on about half an hour too long. Here.
That's what she said.
Just end it.
Right.